Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, we begin with the weather this evening. It was another chilly day in New Hampshire, and how long will this chilly weather last? And will we see some better temperatures ahead? With more of that, let's go to meteorologist Kevin Scriba with your weather forecast.
Bitterly cold temperatures slowly starting to moderate now going forward as the wind will start to gradually lighten through the afternoon and into this evening, allowing temperatures to only fall back into the teens later on tonight with a few single digits up north. It is with sunshine for us for the afternoon, and that wind starting to slow down considerably. Eventually tonight, some high clouds will drift in. Next system right now back to our west is mostly in the form of snow. By the time it gets here later tomorrow and into Thursday, a lot of that will be in the form of rain. You notice on Futurecast the temperatures in the single digits and teens climb into the teens to lower and mid-20s with a high temperature around 3:30 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. By later this evening, the wind starts to lighten a bit and, if anything, starts to turn to the southwest as clouds start to increase. Lows in the single digits and teens, and that will send temperatures upward into the 30s tomorrow. A mostly cloudy sky, a couple of snow showers up north, while southern areas may see a few rain showers later in the day. Does look like we'll have some shower activity around central and southern areas as we gradually go through later Wednesday night, while we could see a couple of mixed showers up north. And then some periods of rain, maybe even briefly heavy on Thursday, with temperatures up into the 40s ahead of a front that will move through around midday. Clearing skies later Thursday afternoon and Thursday night will send temperatures backward going forward. We're continuing to moderate the temperatures as the wind continues to slow down into the afternoon, but still a chilly day with temperatures in the teens and 20s. Single digits and teens tonight, highs tomorrow up into the 30s. And yes, a couple of southern spots could even approach 40. Looks like 40s for a good part of the state on Thursday, minus some central valleys and parts of the North Country where there could be some mixed showers. And after that moves by, some pretty good timing for the weekend. Looks like we clear out Thursday night, maybe a snow shower on Sunday.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from meteorologist Kevin Scriba. And there are 3 closings and delays this evening. If you want to see that list, just go to wmur.com and then click on closings. And here's a live look at our Portsmouth web camera of the Memorial Bridge in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. A nice, clear, crisp night out there this evening. And now let's take a look at your traffic. Here's a look at your traffic right now. We're seeing a lot of green roadways, and we have a few yellow spots and a few red spots right now on some of the roadways. Near the Nashua and Milford area, there are some tiny yellow and red areas, and then going up through Amherst into Bedford, we're seeing yellow and red areas as well. And then on 101 in Epsom area, we're seeing some red and yellow areas with a lot of green. And then in the Concord area, red and yellow near Concord and Bow area. Otherwise, your traffic is moving pretty good on this evening commute. And we will keep you updated if we get any major accidents to report or anything like that. And now let's go to your news of the day. First up, Granite Staters deal with frigid weather for another day. Let's go to Rayburn with more on this report.
Tuesday morning in Manchester, and the cold made it tough to tell who was walking by, as people were all bundled up on their way to school or work. Abigail Pandolina giving a demonstration of how she was dealing with it.
Like this. It's brutal, absolutely brutal. But I did just say it's better today than it was yesterday.
When asked how she was dealing with the cold.
Not well. It's very cold.
Yeah. And what have you been doing the last couple of days?
Sitting on my couch, enjoying some hot chocolate.
I've been trying to limit my exposure to it as much as possible.
You're still laughing, though.
You have to, really. I mean, otherwise, it's kind of ridiculous otherwise.
Speaking of which, there are the conditions atop Mount Washington.
Currently, we're sitting at an air temperature of -9. Winds are still sustained over 100, or sitting at about 101 to 102 miles an hour.
That translates into wind chill temperatures of 55 below zero. In cold like that, the scientists have to limit their time outside to 5 minutes an hour and make sure every part of their skin is covered.
You can start getting frostbite about 2 minutes, and after about 3 or 4 minutes, you start getting permanent damage.
While the cold can be brutal, -27 last night, that's not the toughest thing to deal with.
Even when you wear windproof clothing and are completely geared up, the wind can still get to the seams of your clothes, or maybe like underneath your shirt or something, and it gets cold really fast.
Even for buildings designed to handle weather like this or worse, problems still arise that homeowners can relate to.
Some of the pipes are freezing on the outside, so we're trying to keep up with putting on heat tape and whatnot.
As you take a live look at the winds here in Manchester, Gil says they're also having problems keeping the heat up inside their building. It's around 60 degrees right now. Again, he says he's not looking forward to the warm-up headed our way. I still think he's in the minority. Reporting live in Manchester, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And let us know, we want to hear from you. Let us know how are you handling this cold weather. Comment below and let us know, we want to hear from you. Winds topping 105 miles per hour whip across Mount Washington's summit. Yikes. Check out the conditions Monday night atop Mount Washington. Sustained winds topping 105 miles per hour, including a peak gust of 137 miles per hour, whipped across the summit, causing blizzard conditions. The actual air temperature was -27 degrees. Very cold up there. Good thing we are not up there. "19-year-old dies of injuries suffered in fiery ringe crash." A teenager seriously injured in a fiery crash in Ringe last month has died, officials confirmed Tuesday. Police said they learned on January 19 that Nina, 19 of New Ipswich, had succumbed to the injuries she suffered in the crash December 26 on Perry Road in Ringe. Police said a 17-year-old from Ringe was driving a 2017 Tesla Model X when he crashed into a tree. The car split into two and burst into flames. Nina was taken to UMass Memorial Medical Center in Worcester with life-threatening injuries. The driver and the 17-year-old passenger from New Ipswich were hospitalized with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. At this time, both were expected to be okay. The Ringe firefighters remained at the crash scene hours later due to possible hazardous material coming from the car. The crash remains under investigation. Anyone with information about the crash is asked to contact Trooper First Class Brian at 603-223-8677 or at brian.plamo at dos.newhampshire.gov. Route 101 East closed in Dublin after serious crash. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
We do have an update on the breaking news that we've been following out of Dublin, and the first images from the scene of a crash between a tractor trailer and a vehicle right on Route 101. This is east of Chesham Road. That road is closed right now in both directions. A detour has been put in place there. At this point, there are no confirmed information. There is no confirmed information on injuries out there or how long Route 101 in Dublin will be closed, though. But a very serious crash there in Dublin.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we do have an update on a story that we brought to you this morning about missing 23-year-old Olivia is found alive. Police say she was found alive today. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Just an incredible and fortunate headline here that 23-year-old Olivia Ambrose has been found alive. She was found alive here. This is the area where her phone last pinged. She has been taken to a hospital for treatment. Ambrose vanished Saturday after leaving a Faneuil Hall bar around 11 o'clock. She left with a man police cleared from the case, but about 40 minutes later, cameras spotted two men offer to escort her somewhere. The trio walked downtown. One man put his arms around her and directed her to a T station. That man is later seen alone with Ambrose, leaving a Charlestown T stop, arms still around her. They were also then seen walking through Charlestown. Her phone, again, last pinged here at this housing development. We do believe that this suspect lives here. This is 49 Walford Way. The scene is still very much active, and we'll bring more to you as we get it. We're live in Charlestown. Sean Chiabat, WCVB News Center 5.
All right, Sean, thank you. Let's bring in News Center 5's Kelly O'Hara. She continues our breaking team coverage. She's in the same Charlestown neighborhood with the video of that person of interest being taken into custody. Kelly.
Hey, Ben. Yeah, no, Stanley Foreman was here, our photographer. As soon as that call went out over the scanner this afternoon, he tells me that the call said, we need an ambulance over here at Walford Way and Corey Street for a woman. And someone said, is that her? Do we got her? They said yes. So that is when he rushed over here and got this exclusive video you're only seeing here on News Center 5. You can see that suspect there being led away in handcuffs, surrounded by several police officers and detectives, being put into the back of a police cruiser. He did not say anything at all to Stanley as he was being led away in handcuffs. But what we can tell you is when police went to that apartment in this building right behind me, that is when they found Olivia alive. Ironically, I spoke to a neighbor here a little while ago. She told me that police were in her building, and she lives right next door to the suspect. They were in her building yesterday. She said that someone had asked her, have you seen this girl? Do you know anything? Her cell phone pinged at this intersection. The woman said, no, I did not. She said to me, she was horrified. This woman was a mother that I spoke to, and said she couldn't believe that this young woman was next door for the past 60 or so hours since Olivia was last seen. Now, we also spoke to many people in this neighborhood that know this man, that know this suspect. They said he is no stranger to them and makes them uncomfortable at times. We spoke to one mother and daughter. Take a listen.
He followed me and he followed my daughter last year. We were going to the spalding. He was following us in the bike.
I was going to throw out the trash and he was right there in the corner, and then he kept on staring at me.
It's not cool, grabbing people like that. It's, it's cool. It's messed up.
So what we do know also is that neighbors say that they believe several people did call 911 as soon as police put out that photo. They put it out late or mid-afternoon. I mean, within an hour, hour and a half, that is when police were here at this housing development to put that suspect in handcuffs. And again, that is when they found Olivia alive. A miracle, nothing short of a miracle in Charlestown this afternoon. Olivia Ambrose, 23 years old, missing for more than 60 hours, has been found alive and is now safely at the hospital, as a gentleman who was allegedly held her captive is now in handcuffs with Boston police. Reporting live in Charlestown this evening, Kelly O'Hara to BCBB News Center 5.
Okay, Kelly, we do just want to make clear that man is a person of interest at this point, and police have him in custody. We hope to learn more at a 6 p.m. press conference.
And police are not, to the best of our knowledge, at this point referring to him as a suspect. Person of interest is the terminology being used.
Here's a map showing Hennessy's bar. That was Faneuil Hall. Again, a police press conference is scheduled for tonight, where we do hope to get more details about exactly what has happened here.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And just into our newsroom, the Ambrose family released a statement, and here is what the statement says. The Ambrose family is so grateful for the momentum efforts of the Boston Police Department and MBTA and Transit Police, who have worked tirelessly over the last 3 days to bring Olivia home. They also want to thank all of the staff at Hennessy Bar who have been so helpful since Olivia went missing. The Ambrose family is also so appreciative of all the efforts, prayers, and good wishes of their friends, family, and complete strangers who have helped in the efforts to find Olivia. And finally, they want to thank efforts, prayers, and good wishes to their friends, family, and complete strangers who have helped in the efforts to find Olivia. And finally, they want to thank Olivia's co-workers at Toast who sprang into action and were immediately in getting the word out. The family is overjoyed. And we will be bringing you that press conference when it comes out at 6 p.m. We are hearing that's when Boston Police will do that press conference. We will be sure to share that press conference with all of you. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed this evening. And here's a look at your U.S. stock market for this Tuesday evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the red and went down. Your Nasdaq closed in the red and went down. S&P 500 closed in the red and went down. Gold closed in the green and up. Oil closed in the red and went down. U.S. 10-year closed in the red and went down. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the green and went up. Dow snaps 4-day winning streak as fears of an economic slowdown intensifies. Stocks fell today, the first trading day of the week, as weak data out of China and lower global growth estimates from International Monetary Fund renewed fears of a global economic slowdown. Trump preparing 2 State of the Union speeches for different audience, sources say. President Donald Trump is preparing 2 different State of the Union speeches, one a more traditional address delivered to Congress in the House chamber or some other location in D.C. The other prepared for a political rally at a location outside of Washington, D.C. That has yet to be determined, according to multiple sources familiar with the planning. Sources told ABC News that the president was previously planning two separate versions of the State of the Union. One version if the government was still shut down, and another if the government was open. However, now planning was involved, assuming the government shutdown could drag on past next Tuesday. The expected delivery date of the address, if the president decides to deliver a speech in a rally form, it would mark the first rally style event the president has attended since the partial government shutdown begun. And that did it with the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you back here later on this evening for a news report. Good night, everyone. Bye.